10 excellent tips for donor reporting you should use to better communicate with your nonprofit's supporters. Check out this video to learn how to communicate with your nonprofit's donors and transform them into enthusiastic and loyal supporters. Understand the simple yet essential factors that distinguish charities that convey their message effectively from philanthropies that struggle to get the word out, even if they spearhead activities on a unique, worthy cause. Watch now. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. We are doing fantastic today, and I hope you are doing marvelous. If you're doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. Today, I want to talk to you about 10 excellent tips for donor reporting you should use to better communicate with your nonprofit supporters. Number 1, set goals. Always important. You want to set goals. I don't care the size of your nonprofits. You want to set goals. You want to clearly define your purpose in reporting, in providing a report to your supporters. You want to know what they're looking for. You want to know why you want to send that info to them, and you need to define beforehand your audience. Is it a small section of your donor base? Is it everybody else? You got to be very careful about that. You also want to be clear when it comes to the objectives of the reporting process. Now, keep in mind though, when I'm talking about reporting here, I'm not talking about only the final results. I'm not talking about when you push that send button on your computer and you just distribute the report to donors. No, I'm talking about the process. I'm talking about something that starts from January and ends in December if your fiscal year ends on December 31st. All the little things, all the little tasks, the back and forth between departments within your charity, all the information that you have to get before the report is finally issued. That's what I'm talking about here. So you got to think about objectives, and you have to think about the timing. In setting clear goals, you need to have a clear time. Is the summer conducive to sending out the report? Is winter a better time? Is fall? So you gotta see your calendar and see what time of the year or the month, for that matter, do your supporters do they get involved? Are they interested in hearing from you? Okay. Number 2, develop a suitable reporting program. Now, to develop a reporting program, you need to ask yourself a few questions. Is your audience already engaged? And what is your end goal? What kind of actions are you trying to get out of this reporting process? What kind of final results? What kind of important key elements are you trying to get out? Are there other reporting or communications efforts that you need to consider? So besides sending out a periodic report, is there anything else you can do to keep the conversation going? Would a report be the most effective means to accomplish your end goal? Maybe yes, maybe not. You're going to have to find out. Again, if you understand your audience of potential donors very well, you will certainly know whether a report, like a full-size report, is the best way to forge the relationship, is the best way to tighten the ties between your charities and your donor base. Where does optional reporting rank in terms of importance for your organization? Is reporting seen by management as key, or this is just more like a collateral activity? Because if management does not approve, if management is not behind the whole reporting process, chances are this may not go that far. Like, you're not going to get all the benefits a normal charity gets from reporting, from effective reporting. So develop a suitable reporting program, and that reporting program should fit into your operational calendar. In other words, if your fiscal year ends on December 31st, you want to make sure that all the activities that need to be done before you issue the report, all those activities are well reviewed, they are agreed to, and they are fully understood. The third thing you need to do after setting clear goals and developing a suitable reporting program is to empower your personnel in spreading the word. There is nothing better, folks, believe me, there is nothing better than having your own employees being the ambassadors of your charity. If they really espouse the cause, if they really embrace it, if they really believe in it, they should be your first and foremost ambassadors. By your employees, I'm talking about the paid, the full-time paid ones, but also the volunteers, right? So you can utilize your staff. You can utilize, even better, you can utilize the direct beneficiaries as the messengers. Okay? I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We are still having a conversation here around 10 excellent tips for donor reporting you should use to better communicate with your nonprofit supporters. I've already given you 3. Let's go to number 4. But before I do this, please smash that like button if you like the content I've been giving you so far, and also share this content. We know a lot of there are thousands of charities out there, both large and small, that need to hear this kind of info to better communicate with their supporters, to forge better ties with their benefactors. And also, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell. We release this kind of shows on a variety of topics, for that matter, every single day, rain or shine. Tip number 4, favor images and illustrations. Don't write a whole book. Don't use the report to just write a whole book. No. Use limited text, but visually compelling images. We live in a world where everybody's attention span is very limited nowadays. And your donors, your potential donors, are certainly not going to spend 2-3 hours reading your report unless they really care about the cause. Now, we all understand not everybody will be 100% into the cause, but they will be willing to give money to your charity, which is all you care about anyway. So favor images and illustrations rather than long, convoluted copy. Number 5, develop a data request form. This is important, and this can be used by those requesting information or reports. So if people go on your website and they can be a donor, or they can be a journalist, they can be a regulator, they can be anybody who is interested in your charity, and they want to request a report from you, you need to have a form. And that form, electronic form, should be on the internet. It should be on your website. And because that allows you to get all the info you need before releasing a report. If you are a 501c3 IRS approved charity, you are required by law to release a report if a person or a company requested their report. However, you can use the opportunity to gather some kind of intel, quote unquote intel, on the requester, also on the party requesting the report, right? Because you can use this as a database collection process, as an email collection process, or a contact collection process, depending on the goal you want to achieve. Next thing you will have to do is to form a task force. This is tip number 6. By having a task force, that allows you to do what? You are allocating specific tasks to a department or a team within your company, within your charity, by the way, not company, within your philanthropy here. And this loop of accountability allows you to focus on the task to be done. In other words, if you just assign the whole reporting task to a team and you have periodic follow-ups with them, you are increasing your chances of having a final impeccable report. And you have to remember, just forming a task force doesn't mean the work will be done. You need to meet and discuss specific requirements needed from internal partners prior to undertaking the project. And as the project starts going on, you need to have, as I said earlier, follow-up meetings. And those follow-up meetings are critical, folks. They are important. Tip number 7, coordinate major reporting work through clusters. Okay, let's say you have a small charity, or you have a big charity, or you have a mid-sized charity, and you need to work on a complex annual reports. In other words, this is a kind of report that you had a wonderful year, you had a lot of donations, and you want to report and communicate with your donors and tell them how great you've been, how well you've used the monies that they've sent to you. So you're working on a complex annual report. Consider breaking the content into 2 or 3 or 4 clusters. That way, you're able to do the work faster, and you can do this throughout the year. Please don't wait until the end of the year to start the whole process. It will just take you longer. But if you just say, listen, I have 4 quarters in the year, so I'm gonna start working on this part of the report in January or February. I'm gonna work on the next part of the report around April, and the third part I'll start working on it around July or August, and the last part I'll just start in the fall, probably around October. That way you are basically coordinating all the major reporting processes through clusters. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. We're also having a conversation here around I'm giving you 10 excellent tips for donor reporting you should use to better communicate with your nonprofit supporters. Tip number 8, seek feedback. As you are going through the process, seek feedback from, you can have, for example, before sending the report, or even while drafting the report, you can send it to a test email. In other words, you pick 10 or 5 or 15 or 20 of your donors or your supporters, and you send the email to them, and they give you feedback. They kind of give you some kind of feedback around the content, about the design, and so on and so forth. So you're actually testing the waters. You're testing the waters before sending the report to the masses, to the full database of contacts you have. You can also seek feedback by doing this via phone conversations, because some donors are very involved and they are very interested in what a charity is doing, and they will call just to chat. They will call to know what's really happening, and take advantage of those very engaged donors and supporters. You can also seek feedback from within the charity, right? So earlier, by seeking feedback from donors, you are doing what experts called exogenous feedback seeking, or exogenous feedback search. Now let's do endogenous. Let's do internal. So you reach out to various departments and ask them to comment on the quality, the design, the content of the report you're working on. Tip number 9, expand your recipient base. Here I'm talking about donors, right? But you are asking donors to refer additional donors to you. And this could be the members of their family, their friends, their colleagues, right? This is a very shrewd marketing or fundraising tool here, because you're going through donors and you're saying, listen, you've been helping us so much in the last 5 years, in the last 10 years, in the last 5 months. Would you please just help us expand our community? Could you please share this report with one friend or 2 friends? I mean, you get the deal. The idea here is to expand your recipient base by going through referrals. The referrals can come from current donors, can come from past donors, can also come from your own team. Tip number 10, make your donor the hero. I love this one. This is a great tip. Remember, the last thing you want is to have a report that sounds transactional, or worse, boring. To change that, to inject some kind of life, some kind of dynamism, some kind of dynamo, some kind of fire, in the report, take advantage of the possibilities to make them fun, make the report fun, meaningful, but most important, donor-centered. If you are making your donor the hero, imagine how great the donor will feel like, and that all of a sudden the donor, that person will feel more interested, but other donors, the tens of donors, the hundreds of donors who are helping boost your charity, they'll feel interested too. So you want to make the whole thing, the whole reporting process, donor centered. It's not about your charity, it's not about the activities you're doing. It's about honoring your donors. It's about praising them. It's about highlighting the great work they've been doing also behind closed doors by giving you the money, by giving you the resources you need to move forward. All right. So this is it. This was a short conversation around 10 excellent tips for donor reporting you should use to better communicate with your nonprofit supporters. And here are the 10. Set clear goals. Develop a suitable reporting program. Empower your personnel in spreading the word. Favor images and illustrations. Develop a data request form. Form a task force. Coordinate major reporting work through clusters. Seek feedback. Expand your recipient base. Make your donor the hero. I will talk to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.